Join me, dip these strawberries in chocolate while I answer some very popular questions. Perhaps one of the most common questions I get is, what do I do with all of the food? Well, there's a couple of parts to that question, but the first thing would be to address that sometimes I post reruns. My mom called me this morning and said, "Heather, are people giving you a hard time online again?" And I said, "No, Mom, last night's video was just a rerun." That being said, people give a hard time, so to speak, daily. It doesn't matter. There's always going to be somebody with a negative comment. However, the positive comments outweigh the negative comments tremendously. It doesn't even compare. But I'd also like to point out that my mom sees and reads the comments. So stop saying nasty things because it stresses my mom out, and that's not cool. The reason for the reruns, well, I've been sharing content for quite a while now, so I have a lot of content. But sometimes I'm not actually filming. I have not been filming for a long time now. I would say more than a month. More than a month ago, my mom had surgery, a major surgery. And that was a little bit of a stressful time for me. I don't spend a big lot of time in the kitchen when I have something going on like that. And Shelly takes over, and she has been cooking and feeding us a lot lately. She is good as gold like that. We've been eating a lot of barbecues and a lot of chicken nuggets. There hasn't been a whole lot of home cooking, but she's still taking care of us. My mom is doing rather well. Funny story, when she woke up from surgery, there were 4 nurses around the bed and myself and Shelly. And she was still, under anesthetic and pain medication. And she says, "This is my daughter, Heather, Mrs. Brown's Kitchen." And she is so proud. It is the best feeling in the world. Back to the question at hand of what do we do with all the food? Well, we do give a lot of food away. There are just 2 of us in this house. And when I'm creating content and creating recipes, writing a cookbook, there are times where I make a lot of food and it is way too much for us to eat. So we do give a lot of food away. We also freeze a lot of food. And the food we freeze, like I freeze portions for leftovers at work or portions of a meal so I don't have to cook some night in the future. I don't waste food. The cookbook is coming out very soon. We are in what we will call the design phase. Can I just say that I have never felt so vulnerable in all my life. This experience has been wild. And when I feel vulnerable and insecure, I have this thing where I ask Shelly to tell me something sweet. I've always done it. Anytime I'm having a lot of anxiety or I'm feeling insecure, I'll say, "Tell me something sweet." And she does. But yesterday was a particularly vulnerable day. I almost texted my publisher and asked him to tell me something sweet. I avoided that humiliation, thank God, and Shelly told me lots of sweet things. It will very soon be heading to print, then hopefully all of the stress will be over. I don't know how I'm going to feel when it's released. I hope it's not as bad as this has been. Another popular question I get is, how am I not 500 pounds? Now, I don't know how to answer that question. I really don't. However, I'm not as small as it would appear. I mean, I'm not 500 pounds, no. But I do have a very healthy muffin top, and I definitely am not starved to death by any means. Lately, when people are coming up to me in public, it's getting common that the first thing people mention are not my food or my recipes, it's my cats. And I can't even tell you how proud I am when that happens, as it's if I birthed those girls myself. Straight to my phone, showing pictures as if they haven't seen pictures all over my social media. I am so proud when someone talks about how much they love my girls. In regards to people having an issue with cats on the counter, I mean, I'm not judging anybody else who has an issue with it. I will say that cats are very, very clean animals, and they are as clean as the environment they are in. I would never start to prepare food in my kitchen without cleaning first, and it has nothing to do with my cats. It's, basic sanitation, hygiene, whatever you would call it. In conclusion, I have been posting a lot of reruns lately. I am hoping when this cookbook goes to print, I will get back into a regular routine and schedule, and everything will be back to normal. However, there's always new people tuning in and new people joining, so the reruns aren't necessarily a bad thing anyway. Don't worry, I have not been forgetting about quality control. I've been doing my samples in between each clip. These are headed in the fridge until TV time tonight. They are going to make a fabulous bed lunch. Love you, bye.